pool, JS, you need to watch this side of the pool, KJ, you're right here in the middle. And so us being able to work together to be cohesive as one unit was really huge, and being able to support each other when the other guy is leading and not saying, man, that should be me up there, but us saying, I'm going to help that person up there so they look the best, because that's our job.
And then Coach Track also mentioned he feels like you and Ben both came in here. You didn't really pound your chest and say, like, I'm the guy, everyone else get behind me. Really work together. Just what's the relationship between you and Ben like?
It's been good. We've been helping out each other. The whole quarterback room really has been helping out each other. We know that the pace of this team goes at its quarterbacks. And, we win and we lose in the quarterback room, because you can win a team and lose a team in the quarterback room if there's too much fighting going on and stuff. So we know that we got to be there for each other, and we know it's also competition.
And then the running backs seem to be one of the more veteran-led position groups. What do you make about the depth there in the backfield?
I was just talking to someone the other day, and we have so much talent in our running back room. It's crazy, honestly, how you can keep all these guys here. Coach Traylor did a great job of bringing in guys to an already stacked room. Having Devois and King, and all these guys that are in there, and then continue to bring in more guys like Traylon Smith and Monte Spivey. That just shows what type of recruiter Coach Traylor is, and we're definitely going to try to use a lot of those guys this year. They know what it takes in this league, and they know what it takes to win, and so I'm excited for that.
Coach Carroll mentioned on Monday he's seen the offensive line in the summer really training with a sense of purpose and an attitude with some of the criticism that they took last year. Have you seen them use that criticism as motivation for this season?
I haven't heard it necessarily, but you can tell that O-line room, they mean business this year. And that's great, because that means that there's less hits and there's less sacks, and that's not just on the O-line. That's a two-part thing, but they do get a lot of blame for that. And I really think that they truly took it to heart, and they said, we're going to put our head down and work. And so it's been all business really from the O-line.
And then you played for A&M before. You've seen that side of the A&M Arkansas rivalry. What's it like being on this side? Is that a game you're amped up for?
I guess I haven't experienced being on this side in the rivalry yet, but definitely a game that I'm excited for. I'm ready.
And then if you were going to describe your quarterback play in one word, what would it be?
I'd just say smooth. Just smooth.
Nick, appreciate your time. You have a good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Right from one right into another.
All right.
What do you think you bring to the quarterback battle that's unique?
Honestly, I think that I just bring the ability to just get the ball in the playmakers' hands. That's my job, just to get the ball to the receivers, to the guys who are the real athletes out there. And that's something that I pride myself in, and so I'll be expecting that to be, I guess, my what I bring to the table.
There's a lot of young guys in that wide receiver group. How have you seen them grow since the beginning, since you got here until second day of fall camp?
Really, they've had the same work ethic ever since the first day I got here. They've always been like a sponge, pretty much, soaking up all this information and all the coaching that they can, and then seeing it come to fruition out there yesterday. You got freshmen making plays on seniors or on juniors, stuff like that. Really, really got me going and got me fired up, because having those young guys is huge for us.
How do those young guys and their situation compare maybe to some guys you saw at Texas A&M?
I told Trey Knox this. I told him, and this isn't a shot at Kendrick Rogers or anything. I said, look, you look like Kendrick did last year before the season. I was like, that took him 2 years to get there, because he redshirted and then didn't really play, and then finally it was his year. And so I said, doesn't matter how old you are in the SEC, you can still make plays. If you're a 17-year-old like he is right now, go make plays. The play doesn't care who makes it. If that ball's in the air, it has no feelings. It's an inanimate object, so you might as well go get it, because it doesn't care who's going to catch it. So really just talking to them about that, and just being playmakers like that has been what I've seen.
How have your experience, there is no substitute for experience, right? Talking to those young guys, but you have been able to play in the SEC, been able to play against tough competition. How have you tried to get those guys ready and tried to get your entire offensive squad ready for that?
Mainly it comes in the film review When we're watching the film, it's, hey, we got away with this in practice, but that is not going to work in a game. We need to be perfect. We need to be on time. Say that ball was late today and it was against the scout team player. Okay, that's not the starting safety for LSU. So really it's just always drawing, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. Because as soon as we say, oh yeah, that's good enough, that's when we get caught. That's when you get, cocky, overconfident. And so that's kind of how it's been recently and over the summer and stuff.
With you and Ben, I was talking to him a little bit, and he's like, both of y'all obviously want to win the job and want to be the guy, but what has it been like with you and him also trying to maintain the professional side of it and still be, friends?
Yeah, for me, it's the same as someone who's at the workforce and in life in general. You work with someone, you don't have to be their friend. You don't have to be interested in what they're interested outside of work. You just have to be interested in what they're doing in work. You got to have a common goal. And on this team, we have a common goal. We want to win SEC championship. We want to win a national championship. And so we understand that. That doesn't mean we all have to agree with things outside of this. Doesn't matter about our political affiliation, religious affiliation. No matter what, we all got to come together. When we cross that line, we step on the field, we're ready to go, and we all have one goal, and that's all that matters.
The program came in at the end of summer training, and a lot of guys have been talking about it. What do you think you gained out of that?
Really, we talked about it. As leaders, there's certain ways to talk to guys. You can't just go out there and MF a guy because they don't all react like that. Now, to some guys, you might have to do that, but really, you got to know your team. You got to know your players on an individual level, and you got to be able to talk to them. And then on the flip hand of that, it's not how someone's saying it; it's what they're saying. So, if they're trying to coach you up and they do add a bunch of those words that might not be necessary, well, don't listen to those. Listen to what he's trying to really say to you. And so that was huge for me, just as a leader, being able to say, all right, this is how I got to talk to this guy versus how I talk to this guy. They're going to respond to this when I charge him up, and he's going to shut down when I charge him up. So learning your team is really what I learned as the biggest thing to take away from that.
Hey, Nick, Chad said an install yesterday was as smooth as he's seen it for a day one. What did you think of the flow that you saw to the offense?
Yesterday?
Yeah, into that. Yesterday.
Yesterday we were way too fast. Yesterday I thought that we were really fast. We just had a lot of guys sweating through their whole jerseys. As you guys probably saw, just in warm-ups, everybody was fired up. And so today we still had that same tempo, but we were taking 30-second rest between the ones and twos, or between the ones and then the ones again. So tempo was great today. Getting to go out there and just get a bunch of plays, and that's how this offense works.
Just kind of as far as I'm sure you've been asking us a zillion times already, but kind of what brought you to Arkansas?
Yeah, what brought me to Arkansas was, first off, Coach Morris, having a relationship with him in high school, and not just Coach Morris, but Coach Craddock, and then college, I got to play with Coach Chavis and Coach Cooper as well. Love them. Love working with them. Huge fan of both of those guys, and I know they're a big fan of me as well. It means a lot that they think so highly of me that they'd want to play with me on two separate teams. When they had the chance, they said, yeah, we want the Starkel kid, and so that felt really good to me. And then I came here on a visit and fell in love with the place.
You come here knowing there's already a grad transfer here who, played for Coach Morris. Obviously, that didn't deter you at all. I mean, you can consider that in your decisions and all.
It wasn't really a factor to me. I'm not scared of anything like that. There's always going to be competition wherever you go, so I'm ready.
How is the relationship with Ben, and how does that go? We got two guys, and really quarterback only one plays.
Yeah, our whole quarterback room has been really great and helping out each other. Our coaches are there to help us learn the playbook, and if we have some questions, can't get hold of our coaches, then we get a hold of the other quarterbacks, and so I feel like we've been there for each other, and it's been awesome.
Of course, both of y'all know the only one guy there. I mean, is there a little bit uncomfortable at all, or just kind of part of the game plan? Do y'all know that already?
It's just part of the football. Every quarterback room in the country knows that only one guy is going to play. There's only one quarterback on the field at a time, so that's just honestly just part of football, in my opinion.
You mentioned about running downhill a minute ago, you and KJ. Is that something that people might be surprised to see your running ability?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I haven't really ran in the SEC. You know, I was at 230, and then I lost a little bit of weight, and I'm 217 now. But if that's something that they see doing in the red zone, stuff like that, I'm all for it. I would love to do that. I have 1 rushing touchdown against Ole Miss, 2 yards.
Just how big a plus that you've had SEC experience, do you feel, coming into Arkansas?
I think it's huge to have the experience in this league because it's unlike any other league. It's the closest thing to the NFL. You just look at how many guys are drafted each year from the SEC West compared to other conferences, and you can tell this is a man's league. This is what the NFL looks at. They don't want to see our games versus, you know, a smaller school. They want to see how we play against those big schools because that's how it's going to mostly look like in the NFL. And so being able to put that on film is going to be the best thing you can put on your resume, in my opinion.
I don't know if you saw the comments at SEC Media Day from some of the former teammates and stuff at A&M. I mean, how tough was it to leave and just making that decision to transfer?
That was one of the toughest decisions I had to make. And those guys know this. Those are my brothers. Some of those guys will be, you know, in my wedding one day, and I still keep up with a lot of them. And we're friends, but we know when we cross that line, what is it, September 29th, 28th, something like that. We cross that line, it's on. So it's going to be great to see some of them. Maybe the first time I see some of them will be when they're right in my face. But, you know, those are my guys. Those are some of my brothers. I'm rooting for them every game but one.